Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as Retro Lemon, and this is episode 14. I wanted to say a big hello to all the new viewers out there. I've gotten wonderful messages from people who have just discovered the podcast, so big hello to you, and then a hello to all the returning viewers. I'm so glad you keep coming back. Whew, what a week. My little guy went back to school yesterday, so thank you to all of the well wishes that so many people sent him. It was so kind, and I really appreciate it, but I kind of miss him. It was kind of hard to, send him off to school yesterday, so I feel like in a way I'm kind of getting back into the routine, so for a week, I pretty much got nothing done. When they want your full attention and they're not feeling well, you give it to them, and I was more than happy to, but yesterday I felt like I was playing catch up. So, today I'm like, kind of getting back into the swing of things. So, I wanted to mention, just a reminder, that I've teamed up with DoodleBugYarn.com, and you can save $5 off a $25 or more purchase with the code RETROLEMON, all one word, and use it at the checkout. So, knit-alongs. I said last week I was going to show you again the prizes. Show you here. The May knit-along, for the month of May only, is George the Giant Squid. I just love him so much. He is one of my patterns. You can also enter it into the Wolf Farms and Lem Knit Crochet podcast toy knit along. They're doing it together, so you can enter him in that, and I'm sure there's somewhere else you can enter him. So you can double dip. It's fine with me as long as it's fine with the other podcasters. And the first prize winner will get a skein of the wonderful Dancing Dog Dye Works Worst Weight in the Bot Bucket colorway. I just love this. I love the bright greens and the bright blues. Let's see. And your skein, sorry for the crinkle, but it is all packaged up, all nice and neat. This one's mine, I'm using to show you. And this was generously donated from the wonderful viewer. Her username on Ravelry is Vlau, and her real name is Laura. So thank you so much, Laura. Again, I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So this over here. And then Emily, aka Millie, like that's her username, aka Millie, has a little knitting supply shop that she does out of her home. I think all her stuff right now is just locally in yarn stores in her area, and it is Anders Mill. She's hoping to be on Etsy soon. She generously donated many gifts. So the second winner of the knit along for the squid will get a set of knitting pattern guides. And then third place winner will get these really cute, they're kind of like seashell-y looking stitch markers. And a What Would Elizabeth Zimmerman Do sticker. Get those together. And then there's a second knit along. It is for May and June. You get 2 months. It is your choice of either the Hogwarts Express pattern by Ashford Hamsel is what it's officially listed under on Ravelry, or the Henslow Shawl, which is by Beth Kling. Oh shoot, I dropped something. I was trying not to, and yeah, sometimes the harder you try not to do something, the more likely you're gonna do it. One moment while I get it. Sorry. Okay. I got it. I'm back. Like I said, the Henzo Shawl by Beth Kling or the Ruffled Fichu by Jane Sowerby. Getting better at remembering the names without looking. You can pick any one of those three. You can make as many of them as you want. You can enter as many of them as you want. One post per entry. And you have to be a member of the group for all giveaways, knit-alongs, as always. And the George, the giant squid, you can make as many of him as you would like for the knit-along too. So the prizes for the Shawl knit-along, the first winner will get this super cute box bag. Fluff it up. It will come to you flat. You just fluff it up. I just think this fabric is so cute. And it is a good size box bag. I have never used a box bag, and I'm really intrigued. I've always, I think, been afraid of the zippers a little. But now that I've seen one in person, I'm really thinking I might need a box bag. So it is lined with super cute green fabric. And it has a little ball of yarn and knitting needles on the zipper pull. So super cute. And then the second winner for that knit along, the Shawl knit along, will also get a set of pattern guides. And then the third place winner will get stitch markers that are all, there's like a spinning wheel, a ball of yarn with knitting needles, a sheep, a tape measure, all knitting related stuff, and a sticker as well. So thank you again, Laura and Emily, so much for the prizes that you donated. It really helps a lot with the giveaways, and I really appreciate it. So, I have no finished objects yet again. This is the second week in a row. I haven't had the time. Sick kid at home. Well, I mean, I guess he's not technically sick, but he had surgery, for goodness sake. So, with him being home, we tried to have fun. I mean, you know, the first couple days after the surgery, he felt super cruddy. I mean, can you blame him? So, by Friday, he was feeling really good. You know, he just has to be really careful what he eats. And so, we went to the greenhouse. We picked out flowers for Mother's Day for my mom and my mother-in-law, and then he got me flowers, and he picked out a flower for him and one for his brother and sister, and we got pots and some soil, and they're gonna pot their flowers, plant their flowers. Unfortunately, since Friday, seems like we're either not home, it rains, or something comes up, so hopefully we're hoping to do that this evening, but it rained this morning, so I'm like, shoot. I'm like, we gotta get a break sometime to plant these flowers. So, I mean, they're out on the deck. They're getting sun and water, and they'll be fine. But still. So, but I do have works in progress. Because I don't want to say I had, like, start-itis this week. But I have deadline knitting. I have deadline knitting I can't tell you about. One is the Mini Monster Mania for the Dancing Dog Dye Works Yarn Club. I will be the last month. There's 3 different designers that have patterns coming out with each month. I will be probably be the last. Although I have given myself a deadline of June 1st. All of my obligation knitting must be done by June 1st. Because I'm not starting the summer stressing out, because right now I feel like I'm burning the candle at both ends. I just feel like there's no time. Like, I have no time. I have no time to think or breathe or eat or anything. And then I have a couple other projects I can't tell you about. I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell you what they're for. So I won't. I know I'm not allowed to tell you what they are. I know I'm not allowed to show you any spoiler. I mean, nothing like that. That's a no-no. So, but my goal is to really super duper bust my butt and get it out of the way because I really want to make the Even Star. And I call it my summer knitting project. Like I said, it's going to go way past summer, I'm sure. But just for the fun of it, I'm calling it my summer knitting project because I can. And I'm really excited because I have all the beads and I just want to be able this summer to work on my own designs because I have stuff waiting to be released. I have stuff, like, I have this one pattern in my head and I want to get it out so bad. But I don't even have time to, like, draw it or sketch it or start to work on it. It's, like, not even an option right now, and it stinks. So, I'm getting all my obligation knitting out of the way. June 1st, everything has to be done. Everything has to be emailed to everybody, or at least in the mail. The things have to go out in the mail. I mean, I'm making myself, like, that's it. It has to be done. No excuses, no nothing. But today is May 16th, so May is officially half over. I don't know where it went. So, anyways, continuing on with my works in progress, I have the first top done. I'm using the Afterthought Heel pattern by Laura Linneman, and the yarn is Fiber Nymph Good and Plenty. I'm using size US 2 needles. I think they're 2.75. Don't hold me to it. I could be totally wrong. I just know they're a US size 2. Now would be the time I put in the scrap yarn and continue down to the toe, but so I don't have second sock syndrome, I always start the other one. So I am just past the ribbing. I have a couple rows of stockinette stitch. I really didn't get a whole lot done on these. A little bit of doctor's office waiting room type stuff on this. Not much. But I'm really loving this sock yarn. This is the Bounce Base. And it is just so soft. It is nice to work with. So this is my first time knitting with any of my Fiber Nymph. And I'm loving it. I'm really, really... my strings. Catch it. Really loving it. And I don't know why. When I make socks, I normally like the stripes to go from, like, work their way down from, like, light to dark. I mean, I know black starts up here, but then it goes, you know, white, pink, black, white. And I like that. Like, if it were like this, that would bother me. Is that weird? I think that's weird. But I don't know. I just like it to go from the lightest color to the darkest color. It doesn't matter which one starts it, but that's one of my quirks, I guess. And then I made a little more progress on my Hogwarts, but then I am to the row. The next row I have to do is where you add the beads. So I did start the cables. It'd be hard to see right now, but I did start the cables, and then as you can see, I did cap the ends because I'm using a size 6 needle on this, and I needed my size 6 needle for my other works in progress, so this got set aside for a little bit. But I will pick it up. This will be finished by the end of the knit along. So, I'm loving it. It's a very easy pattern. I'm loving the yarn. The pattern is Hogwarts Express by Ashcroft Hamsel, and the yarn is Dancing Dog Dye Works Tweedy Sock in the Into the Forest colorway. So you can see the little specks in the yarn. It's a greenish blue, or I guess a bluish green, maybe you might even say. It's a lot darker than I normally would knit with, but I don't know, for the little owls, I don't know, didn't want bright. My phone is ringing. Okay, sorry. Phone call. I'll call him back. So, okay, talk about the Hogwarts. So like I said, I mean, I'm almost done. I'm almost in the home stretch. Gotta do the beads. Very quick knit. Love the pattern. I would definitely make one of these again. I think I was saying the color's a little darker for me, but I like it. So I'm like, I guess you can't have everything really bright all the time, right? Okay. Next, as you see, I needed my needles. I only have one set of interchangeable size 6s. I could have swore I had 2, but I don't. Okay. So I started my stole, or it's called a rectangular shawl. It is the Arabian Nights rectangular shawl, and it is a new pattern out there. And it is in the pink lace. It is Knit Picks gloss lace in the rouge colorway, and this is a discontinued colorway. I don't know how long they'll have it. I don't think I'm going to get it done in time. I have to have this done. This is Wednesday the 16th, and I have to have this done by Wednesday the 23rd in order to have time to block it and have it be dry by the 25th when I need it. I don't think it's going to happen. I've done the edging and I've done 1 repeat. It says you're only supposed to do 6 repeats. I'm like, really? So really, it literally comes out to be a rectangle. Not quite a stole where it's like a long strip. It's going to be a rectangle. Okay, the girl that has one on in the picture, it looks like it just barely comes around her, and she's not as big as I am by any means. So I'm thinking, shoot, I'm going to have to add in, like probably, instead of having 6 repeats, at least 10. I would think at least 10. To have it the size that I was thinking I wanted. I mean, it looks like it's going to be wide enough. I wondered why. I wanted something that if it's chilly in the evening when I go out, that I can wrap it around me. I mean, I don't want to have to wear a nice dress and then take a jacket. I'm like, I don't want to have a jacket that would go with the dress and look great. So I wanted, just a nice stole to be able to, and I like the pattern because I'm like, the dress has a pattern and I needed a more simpler pattern on the shawl. So it'll be like diamonds. Let's see. It has like this diamond pattern. It gets like big ones and little ones. Because I thought, well, it'll be contrasting to the pattern on the dress, but it's a lot simpler of a pattern, and just for me, I thought it would work. I don't know that I'll get it done. It's kind of disappointing, because I would have never bought like bright pink yarn if it weren't specifically going with the dress. So I don't know what I would do with it. Like, I'm afraid if I don't get it done in time, like, I'm literally going to cap these ends, toss it in a bin, and there it'll lay. I have other stuff that I've done that with. I have a sweater I started like 2 years ago that really all it needs is the button band and collar. And I got so sick of working on it and kind of wasn't real happy with it. And it's in a box somewhere. I think it's in the attic. That's what I did with it. So that's kind of my fear, because I'm like, I would, tried to make this specifically. I waited too long to order the yarn. It took me too long to find a pattern. This is a new pattern. It only came out maybe a week ago. So it took me too long to get yarn. It took me too long to pick a pattern. And I knew this was coming up. So it's my own fault. I've taken on too much at this point. So, my own fault the whole way around. The whole thing was just, like I said, I can't make any excuses because there's no one to blame but me. I hear a bee buzzing or something. I went out to get the mail today and the bees were nuts. Lots and lots of bees. Let's see. Yarny goodness, I have some this week. I am so excited. I have to give a big shout out to Penelope 10 on Ravelry, Penny. She was so awesome. Dancing Dog Dye Works was having an update last Tuesday, the day of the surgery, and my son's surgery got bumped back 2 hours. Well, Dancing Dog Dye Works was having an update, and I was like, oh, okay. It was at a time that we should have been home by. I should have had him settled. You know, I had a little bit of time to do what I had to do around the house, get him settled, and I should be home. Like, I was so excited. Yeah, well, with his surgery being bumped back 2 hours, I got home like 45 minutes after the update ended. It stunk. I was so disappointed. Not that it wasn't for a good reason. I mean, I could have tried to get on my phone, but I'm like, we're at the hospital. You know, I'm like, the doctors are in and out of the room. I'm like, I felt rude. I'm like, it was for my son, so I didn't. Yarn's not that important. So I kind of, you know, just mentioned, oh, bummer, I'm not going to be on, and, you know, because I found out the afternoon before. So, Penny was super duper nice and asked what I was hoping to get. And I said, glitter lace in the kiwi colorway. So she got it for me. Thank you, Penny. So, you know, I sent her the money and she just had Michelle send it directly to me. And I love the kiwi colorway that Michelle of Dancing Dog Dye Works does. It's just this gorgeous shade of green, and there's sparkle in it. Sparkly lace. Oh yeah. Love, love, love lace. Glitter lace. So I already think I know what this is going to be. It's going to be a shawl. I can't remember what it's called. It's in my queue with this as the yarn that I will be using. I don't know when I'll get to it though. That's the unfortunate thing. And then I got 2 Fiber Nymph special orders. I love this. I saw this, I was looking through like people's stashes and projects that they've made with the Fiber Nymph sock yarn. This is the Bounce Base, and it is called Summer Wild Child. And I had seen this. It's like a real deep magenta and a bright orange. And whoever had it, I can't remember, they made like leg warmers or socks or something. And they didn't have a colorway. So I had emailed Lisa and I was like, oh, I saw on Ravelry there was this like, you know, pink and orange striped socks. And there was no colorway. Do you know what that is? And she was like, oh, I know exactly what that is. And to me, it looked like Big Bird's legs. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can have socks that will make my feet look like Big Bird's legs. And I told her that. I said, it totally reminded me of Big Bird's legs. She's like, oh, I never thought of it like that. So Lisa probably thinks I'm a total nut. And that's okay. I kind of am. But I love the Bounce Base. It is so soft. I really like it. I can't wait to finish my Good and Plenty socks so I can wear them. And then I have a question for any of you that have done the Laura Linneman After Sock Heel pattern. Now, I made a pair of socks, showed them, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And a problem I have is they're a little tight over the top of, like, the ankle bone area. Like, or like at the very top of your foot. Like, across from, there's the heel, and directly above the heel, it kind of stretches. And I was wondering, can you add more knit rows before the decrease starts in the heel? Will that give you a little more give? Is there a trick to that? Is there a trick to not getting so much stretch across the top of the foot? If anyone has any suggestions, recommendations, or ideas, comment on the blog or Ravelry group under episode 14. I would greatly appreciate it because I really enjoyed doing the Afterthought heel socks that I had made the first time. And they, you know, were comfortable. They fit my heel well. They were just a little, the stitches stretched a little over the top, above the heel, you know, across the top of the foot. And I was just wondering if there was something I could do besides adding more stitches to the sock as a whole, only because they fit perfect in the foot, they fit perfect on the leg. It's just right, you know, directly above the heel that they just seem to be a little tight. Like I said, any recommendations would be greatly appreciated. And then with my other reserve listing, I got Good and Plenty Gradient. It is the Sunshine base, right? Yep. 490 yards of 100% superwash merino. Love this. I now have Good and Plenty in sock yarn, a gradient fiber, and a gradient, I think it's a sock yarn. Yeah, 490 yards. I'm like, all I need it in a worsted weight, and I will be all set. I love this. I have no clue what I'm going to make with it. I had like pulled up project pages in Ravelry. Nobody's made anything with theirs either. I'm like, come on people, I need some ideas. I'm like, oh, I love this. And I was looking in my stash project page. I'm like, if you went by every Fiber Nymph order I've ever had, everything has pink in it. You would think pink was my favorite color. And it's not. I'm not normally a fan of pink, but I love pink, black, and white. I don't know what it is about it. I really do like it. And that's it for yarn. I have magazine reviews. Let's see. When I was at the store, we went to the greenhouse Friday, and then we had to stop by the gas station and the grocery store. And there's one grocery store close to us, and they have the best selection of knitting magazines. Like, the only place that has a better selection of knitting magazines is, like, Joann's. And I picked up the Interweave Knits Summer 2012. And I have to admit, I pretty much bought this for the shawl on the cover. I think that's just gorgeous. I wouldn't make it in the light pink. I like definitely a brighter pink, but I kind of think I want to make it in gray. I'm normally not into gray, but I'm thinking gray or aqua. Like, it's kind of a toss-up there. It could go either way. And it has beads, and I don't know why. I'm really attracted to things with beads. The magazine as a whole, really, I don't know, it didn't wow me. I always like the articles. I mean, I pretty much bought this because I like the cover pattern, and I always like the articles. I wanted just something new to read. I don't have a whole lot of time lately to read a book, which is a shame because I love to read. I have hundreds and hundreds of books. They're all over the house. They're stacked everywhere. And I just don't get the time. So, there's a great article about swatching. Oh, I don't want to I don't know if that breaks copyright, but there's an article about swatching. Let's see. I need to get some of them little flag thingies. Because there's a pair of gloves in here. I'm like, you know, it's the summer issue. And, gloves? Really? It's so weird because, oh, here they are. Ingrid's gloves. Now the patterns are all mixed in. I can't, you know, it's been a long time since I've bought an interweave, and I don't remember the patterns being mixed in. I thought they were in the back, like Vogue. But I could be wrong. Like I said, it's been a while since I've bought an interweave. But I'm like I said, to me, it's not the time for gloves. But to each their own. It's cold somewhere right now, right? I said, there's another picture of the shawl. I just love how light and lacy it looks. I really like heavier shawls too. I made the Tara shawl by Jared Flood, and I love that. That is probably one of my all-time favorite shawls, and it's made with worsted weight. But, you know, summer's around the corner, and I'm thinking light and airy. Light and airy would be nice. There's also a great article, The Ultimate Guide to Knitting Needles. It goes over all the different types of needles. You know, things end up being a preference. I don't like metal needles and I don't like plastic needles. Wood needles are definitely my pick. Let's see. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but there was one other thing that I wanted to show because I liked it. Oh, I totally need, like, one of my friends needs to hatch out a kit or something, because I love, if you watch the Knit Girls and you've already seen this, I love this little dress. Love it, love it, love it. Super cute. I don't know anybody with a little girl. And the Bethany wrap, which is really cute. My only concern is being a fuller size girl are the stripes, because let's face it, y'all, big girls can't always pull off stripes. Now I'm thinking they're skinnier stripes, so it might not be so bad, because wide stripes would not work. They show off all your imperfections if you're a little thick in the middle. And then this stuff kind of just, I'm like, I would never wear this sweater. And no offense to anybody who would, but there's like this kind of stuff. And it's like they try to put like younger people in it. And I'm just like, it's not working. I don't know. Interweave knits definitely isn't quite as trendy for my taste. Like I said, the cover was a seller for me. Next up, I should just quickly, Your Knitting Life. It is the June-July 2012 issue. I have a subscription to this. I can't wait till it runs out. I hate that I feel that way. I love the articles in this magazine. They always have really fun, great articles, and they always show you, like, you know, new knitting gadgets. Like here, they talk about knitting gadgets and stuff. You know, some stuff you've seen before, like the O-Snaps. But they have other stuff that's cute. Lots of times, they'll have, you know, it's sponsored by Red Heart, so they'll have all kinds of new Red Heart. They have book reviews. I love stuff like that. They're reviewing custom knits too. But there's nothing in this that wows me. There has not been anything in this that has wowed me for a while. There's lots of, like, wedding type stuff. And, like, it's just a regular pattern done in white. It doesn't... Hello, ring bear pillow. And I think the purse is kind of cute. That was really the only thing that caught my eye out of this magazine. I don't like it. And then I'm sick of the bears. Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of the bears. Page 20. Excuse me, I am so sorry. It is a big allergy flare-up day. Oh, I went outside to get the mail. Ugh, it was horrible. I came in just sneezing, feeling all stuffy. The bears. It's Edward and Anastasia or something like that, and then they had a baby, and well, they got married, and then they had a baby, and then it's like every issue, there's new bear clothes. I'm not a teddy bear person. I don't want the bears all the time. I don't. I'm frankly tired of the bears. I'm like, I want other toys. I want to see a variety of other toys. I mean, I knit toys. I like doing a variety. I like seeing a variety. I like knitting other designers' toys. Because, you know, you think, oh, shoot, why didn't I think of that? That's an awesome pattern. And then they had a sweet pea in the pod swaddle. And I'm like, I think it's a little warm for that. I mean, I understand you got to keep babies a little warmer, but see if I can find. I just, as a whole, I will not be renewing. And then I thought it was kind of funny because they had this thing going for the first so many issues. I don't know, maybe for like the first 6 months. Like they would have Afghan samplers. So they'd give you like 3 or 4 squares in one issue, and then the next issue would be 3 or 4 more squares, and so on and so on. Well, I have pretty much had a subscription since the first one. Or I had gotten the first one and then got it. Because it used to be called Knitting Today, and then they changed it to Your Knitting Life. And then they came out with the monkey squares, which I had to make sure I kept my subscription renewed. And at one point, one of my magazines didn't arrive, and I was like emailing them, like, I have to make sure I have the monkey squares, because someday I'm going to make the monkey blanket. Well, I guess a lot of people were upset, because if you didn't find the magazine, or know about it, or whatever, and you missed the first, like, magazine or two with the monkey squares in it, you were out of luck. There was no getting any else if you could get a back issue. And that really ticked people off, and I don't blame them. I mean, when you see something you really want to make, you really need to have access to the whole thing, I think. So this is the first issue, I think, that they didn't put any kind of squares in it. Because before it was just basic stitches that you could pretty much get. There was like an argyle square and a checkerboard square. It was like all kind of color work type thing. And then, you know, when the monkeys started coming in, it was the alphabet. Yeah, people were not happy. And they didn't understand why. But I don't know. Like I said, I like the articles. And oh, my favorite thing before I move on about this magazine. Okay, there's an index. And I noticed Interweave has an index. Now, it's not in the very back like I think it should be. Okay, see, this is the very last one. It talks about different cast-ons. Behind that is the index. Because I always look for this first with a magazine, so I don't have to flip through the whole thing. Sneaky, sneaky. But there is one there. So I do like that they put the index in the very back, last page. And then they have the section called What's in Your Bag. And so they take a designer, this publisher, Meg Swanson, who runs Schoolhouse Press, and they have her show what is in her bag, in her knitting bag. That, I think, is awesome. I like seeing what other people have in their knitting bags. I'm nosy, I guess. So, I figure they now have this at one of our local grocery stores. It just started showing up the last issue or two. So, I can always check what's in people's bags on the newsstand and not continue my subscription. And then if I can see, if I find an issue where there's something I like, I'll just buy that individual issue. I only got a subscription so I could get all my monkey squares. So, that's that. For my section, Tools of the Trade, I've been trying to get a little more organized. I don't know if anyone else has organizational issues, but I do. So, first off, I saw this knitting bag online, and I had to have it because I thought it was hilarious. And then I'm like, crap, I can't really have this out around my kids because I don't want them. My daughter would be like, Mom, because she's 12, almost 13. My boys probably wouldn't get it, but I thought it was hilarious. Says, keep your hands off my balls. of yarn, people. Sillies. These were made by Lindsay on Ravelry, also known as Little Lippy U. She has her own Rav group now called Little Lippy U Designs, and it's U, like E-W-E. And I thought this was absolutely hilarious. I started laughing my butt off. But then I'm like, crap, how am I going to explain that to my boys? Because I'd be like, oh, honey, they're balls of yarn, haha. But then I don't want them going around saying it. So, that'll be one that I just keep in my knitting bag with a project that I take, like knit night or something. Maybe out in public. I don't know. I live in a conservative area, which is hard for me because I'm not from a conservative area. I did not grow up in this area. I came from a very liberal area, and so, I don't know. Stuff doesn't fly out here like it does back home. Next, I wanted to let you know, I got my Shacked Lazy Kate all put together, and I love this. This was worth every penny. I wish I wouldn't have gotten the onboard Lazy Kate for my ladybug. I don't know what to do with it now because I like having it there. So as I spin, I take the bobbins off and I can put them on there. So I just might use it as a bobbin holder. I would say I'd sell it, but I don't know that they're really moving right now because I saw someone post in the Shacked group on Ravelry. Someone had their onboard Lazy Kate for sale and there were like no takers. So I need to decide either I need to get it all off, take it off so nothing happens to it, I don't lose any pieces, and sell it. Or, sorry, I don't mean to clank those around. Or just keep it and use it as a bobbin holder. But then I'm like, shoot, I really need to buy some more bobbins. Like at least 3 more now, right? Gotta keep them full. Next, I bought this on Etsy from Girl on the Rocks, and I'll have to hold it up. I bought a plastic one, and it's clear and it's see-through, and it is a, I think the official thing it was called is a spinner's WPI gauge, so wraps per inch, and it has a notch for an inch, and you wrap it around, and it'll tell you how many wraps equals what weight of yarn. And then it also has little grooved lines where you can put your yarn under it or on top and see which thickness it fits in. So hopefully you can see this. I wish I had a piece of paper here. See if this helps. They do have wood ones also. They have ones made out of cherry and bamboo. I wanted the plastic one so you can set your yarn under it or on top. I like that it was clear. I wish it came in something other than blue. Green would have been nice. But they only come in blue, which that's fine. Not everything has to be green. I just like it to be that way. So, this has been really helpful. I really like it. I like having it. And this kind of moves me into my next tool. I keep it in here. Now, this is not an official knitting or spinning item, but I found a really good deal and I wanted to share it with you. Now, I don't have a Target that's real close. I only get to Target every few months. I love Target. I wish we had one. But I was there over the weekend, and I love their dollar section. I mean, the first thing I do when I go into Target is hit their dollar section. And they have these cute little plastic baskets for $1. I was so excited. And they had another one. It was a little lower, and it was more oval than like squared. But it didn't have a solid bottom. I wanted one with a solid bottom. I tried to get the stickers off, and it was an epic fail. So I decided I'm going to keep all my spinning tools in this little basket. So I have my spinning wheel oil, my extra drive band. I'm sent a sample of another fiber with a fiber purchase that I had gotten. My gauge, And then I have this sitting in there so everything doesn't wiggle. Oh, my orifice hook as well. Because when you move your spinning wheel around, it falls off, so you can't just leave it there. I noticed that I always had globs of fiber. You know, you pick little things off that you can't really work in. And I was dropping them on the floor. So I'd have this little pile of fuzz. So these, you got 2 of them for $1. I don't know where the other one ran off to. Someone else decided to claim it, I'm sure. Because I only needed 1, but they came 2 with like a little zip tie, you know, or whatever around them to keep them together. So I have this sitting on the floor next to my spinning wheel on my right side because I'm right-handed. And I dropped my extra fuzz in it. So this is lots of fuzz from a couple different bumps. So I got that. And then when I design, I like to have some safety eyes with me. I found this cute little thing for $1. And it has separate compartments, some bigger, some little. And it's nice because sometimes it stinks when I have just like a little zipper pouch or a tin or something. And I want to put safety eyes in it, but I don't want to get them all jumbled up. So this has little compartments, has a little flip top lid, little compartments. So I can put safety eyes in it on the go. And then I had it sitting in this basket just so I wouldn't forget about it. So then I'm walking around Target and I thought, oh, I want to get something to keep my fiber in when I spin it, because I don't want it sitting on the floor and it kind of falls off my lap. And at first I'm thinking, oh, maybe I will get a cute garbage can, like a kid's garbage can. And they had this super cute one and it was an owl. It was a pink and green and brown owl. And I was like all excited and I'm like, oh, that would be so cute for my fiber to sit in. It was $20. I'm like, no, I am not paying $20 for a plastic bucket. I'm too cheap. I will be so honest, I was appalled. I don't know, I'm like, if it was $15, I probably would have bought it. But I'm thinking, I probably wouldn't have paid more than $15 for it. $20 was just out of the question for me. So I was walking around Target and I'm like, shoot, I need something. I was all like set to get something. So then I'm looking around and I found this. Okay, you're like, Jenna, it's a cube. Exactly. Okay, this was $6.99. $6.99, and it's like big. I have cubbies. I have like 2 sets of wall cubbies, and this is bigger than what'll fit in those. I didn't buy them at Target, but anyways, this is nice. You unfold it, you pop the bottom down, it folds down, and I put my fiber in there. And then what's really nice is when I'm out of fiber, because I have a space issue, talked last time, small house, you just pull the thing up, fold it up, and seriously, I have been sticking this in the bookshelf with my pattern books and stuff. I thought it was a great idea, because then I don't have a bucket or something in the way, because I don't have the space. So, I got this for $6.99, so basically $7. I spent $3 in the dollar section, $10 at Target. And I got what I needed for storage and accessorizing, because I lack in the organizational skills. Like, I need a professional organizer to come in and show me how to do all this a little more efficiently. So then I went, and I was at Walmart, strolling around Walmart, because that's what you do at Walmart. And I saw this, and I was like, OMG, I know exactly what to do with that. It is a big rubber tub. Now, you might be wondering, what in the world are you doing with a big rubber tub? Because I'm not putting fiber in it from a spinning wheel. And it's rubber. And I had seen pretty much the same thing on like a knitting supply website. $38 for a big tub this size. I don't know if it was rubber or hard plastic. But still, $38. $4.99 at Walmart. They have them in the garden section. And you want to know what I have in it? Look at that. It is all my stuff for my Hexie Puffs that I'm behind on, I know. See, so I have Hexie Puffs floating around in there. And all my little extra balls of yarn from socks and Hexapuff clubs and mini skeins of yarn, more Hexie Puffs. And I let them cohabitate in here. I don't have a problem with that. I don't feel the need to keep my Hexie Puffs and my sock yarn separate. And I just figure I'm going to work out of here. I have it sitting next to my chair, which I know takes up space, which I was trying to avoid. But it holds it all in one spot. And that works for me. I mean, it's over halfway full. It's 2/3 of the way full. So, like I said, I spent $15 altogether. I'm like, I would have spent more than that on that one little trash can bucket thing at Target. So those are my tools of the trade. Like I said, I just wanted to let you know some cute things that I found and the uses I found for them. Besides their original purpose. Like I said, that's like a gardening bucket of some sort. It is now my Hexie Puff keeper. It sure is. Okay, we'll move on to charity before we go into the spinning section. I just wanted to mention again about the Brad Anderson Fund. Brad Anderson needs a liver transplant due to genetic reasons. And it's an inherited thing, and they need $100,000 to get him on the transplant list. I think they're like halfway there. So every dollar counts. If you only do $1 or $5 or $10, I mean, you can donate as much as you want or as little as you want. There is a link on the website for PayPal. If you have a First Merit Bank in your area, you can also donate at any First Merit Bank to the Brad Anderson Fund. There are links on PayPal to the official website I will link to. Please go through there because, you know, there are weird people out there who just feel the need to try to rip people off. My dog's at the door making noise. Sorry if you heard her. Okay, all spun up. I showed you last week. I was working on some Chimera sea glass. It is 100% merino, and it was on the bobbins. I had spun 2 of the 4 ounces last week, and this week here it is all spun up. I love this. Love, 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 love it. I went and I divided the braid in half. I just split it down the middle, tried to get it, I had it pretty even. And then I took the halves, separated them. One went in a bucket in my little bucket box thing. One went in a bag. And then I just pulled it apart. I think I pulled them all 3 pieces. I wanted this very Barber Pole, very colorful, very kind of crazy. Because I like it. I like that look. So that's what I went for. I cannot remember how many yards I got. I'm thinking I got somewhere around 160 yards. And I think it's about 4.3 ounces. So I went, and before I washed it, and I don't thwack it like I hit it against things. I do what Maggie Casey told me to do in the DVD where you just go. So before I did all that, before I washed it and did whatever that's called, I don't know if you'd call that officially thwacking, because I don't beat it. It was a sport weight. I wrapped it. It was a sport weight. It was beautiful. It was like so even looking. And then when I washed it and it dried and all that, it like plumped big time. And it wasn't quite as even. There are a few thicker and thinner spots. But it is now a worsted weight. Which, okay, that's what I'm going for. I know most spinners out there are going for like sock yarn. I want worsted weight. I'm a toy maker and I want to make toys out of my hand spun. I'm not saying I don't ever want to make sock yarn, you know, a fingering weight hand spun. But right now my goal is to get a nice even worsted weight. So there's that. And then I had said the next thing on the spinning wheel would be the Bond Fiber green tonal that Sheep Therapy had sent me, who is Pam. And I did. I love this so, so much. This was a superwash merino, and it was slippery for me. Just like the froggy monkey. I showed the froggy monkey that I spun up last week, and that was pretty slippery for me too. So this does have a little more thick and thin in it, and I Navajo plied it, which I guess is this, I keep hearing chain plying instead of Navajo plying, and I guess it's the same thing, but I'm calling it Navajo plying. I Navajo plied that. That is what I did. And I love this. I love this so much. I think this is just gorgeous. I love green. I love it so much. But that being said, this bled like crazy. When I'm spinning, my fingers were all green. So when I soaked it, because I soak it in just hot water, I take it out, or hot water and a little dab of dish soap, and then I drain it, and then I go, and then I wash it in vinegar and hot water. So that's what I did, and I put like an extra glug of vinegar in it, and then I drain that, and then I put it in cold water with some soak. So thank you so much, Pam, so much. I love this. I know exactly what I want to make with this, which is an upcoming pattern of mine that I think would look awesome in green. So it really is like a tonal. I love that it's the Navajo ply, which really, you didn't get big chunks of one color. It really just blends so beautifully. I have nothing on the bobbins at the moment. I did my Navajo ply on that green tonal hand spun yesterday morning, and between yesterday morning and today, I have started nothing else. So, Fiber goodness, I am so excited about this next one because, okay, Fiber Nymph was having an update last week. I was like, you know, I really don't need anything. But then I watched the podcast, and she showed this. It is the Fruit Loops Gradient. And I was like, oh, I want that. I want that so bad. What are my chances? She originally only had 3. I'm never going to get one. There's going to be so many people, because everyone on Plurk was like, oh my goodness, I have to have Fruit Loops Gradient. So I'm like, I'll never get one. So I saw it was about time for the update, and I'm like, I'm not even going to look. So I went, and I got on Plurk, and Lisa was running just a tad behind. She said, you know, update's going up now. So I got on, and I clicked, and it still said coming soon, and I'm like, holy cannoli. I refreshed it like twice, and it popped up, and I hit add to cart, and it got in my cart. It must have been meant to be. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, because I love this. I cannot decide if I just want to spin it as one and then Navajo ply it, or if I want to split it into 2 and 2 ply it. I haven't decided yet. It is 100% Polworth. Like I said, weight 4 ounces, Fruit Loops Gradient. Yay! It's so pretty because it goes from the green to the purple to the orange to the blue to the yellow into the pink. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now I'm like, I gotta get some Fruit Loops sock yarn. And then the sea glass, the first hand spun I showed you, is from Chimera. And then I had saw that Kirsten of Chimera had listed this, and it was a reserve for somebody else. It has no name, no nothing, and I guess somebody else had like custom requested this. Now y'all know how I feel about yellow and gray. Love it. So I had messaged her on Etsy, and I told her, I said, I love that. Can I get one? And she was like, oh yeah, I would be more than happy to dye one up for you. So this actually just came today. And there's no official colorway, so I am calling it Rain Clouds and Lemons. which kind of sounds like a bad day. But it is a bright, it's coming uncoiled. It is a bright, really lemon yellow and a gray. And when I went out to get the mail, like seriously, I'm heading out the door with the dogs, it starts sprinkling. So I grabbed the umbrella, and it's getting grayer and grayer out. By the time I got to the mailbox and I turned around to head back to the house, it was pouring. It started it was so dark and it was pouring. So I'm calling it Rain Clouds and Lemons. It could end up with an official colorway from Chimera. But I love this. I cannot wait to spin this up. I probably will do it all crazy barber poling just like I did the sea glass. Because I like that look. I just saw the camera blink and I don't know why. Gotta wrap it up. Okay. Tropic of Capricorn. It is Merino, Corriedale, Nylon, and Angelina. Everyone I've bought has Angelina in it, and it's not intentional. So I did join the Loop Club, and I asked for no Angelina in my club batch, just because I don't want them all to be sparkly. Sorry about the crinkle. It's red and aqua and orange, and it's kind of like this green, and then this is like a grayish taupey. Oh, I love this. It's so funny because on Dramatic Knits, Callie really wants Steve to knit her, or to spin her a loop, and he's like, eh. And I'm like, it's because you know once you go loop, you can't go back. It's so true. I would spin nothing but loops if I could afford it. And maybe if they came in more solid colors, because you don't always want stripes. But, y'all, this is amazing. If you're a spinner and you have not tried loop, get one. Just get one to try it. You know, because look, it pulls out so easy. It's almost like it's like pre-drafted. It's amazing. I love loop. I caught the loop update last night too. Been good. I've only been getting one. So that's all I got on my notes. I think I'm running a little bit over an hour, but I gotta edit out that phone call. So yeah, so that's it for me this week. I want to thank everybody who leaves comments, who messages me. It means so much. I love getting feedback. So thank you all so much for participating and joining in on the group. I love it. The group is Retro Lemon Studio on Ravelry. Come on in and join us. Join the group. Get in on the knit-alongs. There's plenty of time. Okay, so for some reason, my flip is being a total pain, and it was shutting off on me, and I had signed off and all that, and it didn't record it. So I have no idea what's up with the flip. Hopefully I got it somewhat in the same shot as before. So, sorry to leave you off the way I did. It just kind of cut everything off, and it was weird. And anyways, so I am Jenna, also known as Retro Lemon on Ravelry, Clerk, Twitter, and the group is Retro Lemon Studio. The website is retrolemonstudio.com, where you can find all of the show notes with links to just about everything I showed you on the show today. So, till next week. Bye.